So it's time now for our morning trade, and we take a look at Cisco Systems. This company will report its earnings today after the closing bell. Caroline's actually anchoring that market on close later, so you're getting yourself ready for this one. Cisco Systems with a preview. Caroline Woods.
Yeah, shares under a bit of pressure ahead of this report tonight, down about 0.7%, but it's actually been an outperformer so far year to date, up about 3.5%, up about 27% over the past 1 year, and only about 8% away from the 52-week highs. When the networking company last reported, they offered upbeat guidance. CEO Chuck Robbins said they were well positioned to help customers scale their network infrastructure, increase their data capacity requirements, and adopt best-in-class AI security. We'll see what they have to say now, amidst still the fact that there is this tariff uncertainty in terms of what happens, come July, come August, and also amid some macroeconomic uncertainty as well. In terms of the numbers that we're looking for fiscal Q3, adjusted EPS of 91 cents on revenue of $14.06 billion. That would represent about 10.5% year-over-year growth. In terms of product revenue, that's expected to be up nearly 11% to $10.08 billion, with networking up about 3.5%, security up nearly 70%. It's really the bright spot there. And then services, on the services side, revenue is expected to be up about 4% to $3.82 billion. In terms of remaining performance obligations, a key metric that we always pay attention to for Cisco, that's expected to be up 9% to $42.16 billion, with product up 12% and then services up 5%. In terms of current quarter estimates, what analysts are looking for on the street, EPS of 96 cents per share on revenue of $14.5 billion. That would represent about 6.5% year-over-year growth. And then in terms of the full year, keep in mind this is fiscal Q3 that they're reporting, so really only one more quarter after this. The company had already boosted its full year guidance when they last reported, expecting revenue in the $56 to $56.5 billion range, and then adjusted EPS of between $3.68 to about $3.74. So we'll see if there's any updates to that as well. Shares under some pressure right now, but up so far this week and up so far this month, and as I said, up year to date.
And the question is, while they're expected to post the higher quarterly profit, the revenue, the momentum from AI and quantum computing, whether or not that can help to bring it to a double beat again. So AI and quantum computing is something we're waiting for them to talk about.
Yes, certainly the case. I will say, if you take a look, given the fact that this has been an outperformer, not by as much of a margin anymore now that some of the big tech names have started to really see this rebound over the past few days, but still technically outperforming a lot of names in the tech space. If you take a look at the breakdown in terms of the analyst community, 52% buy, 48% hold. Median price target $68 a share, which is really only a little more than 10% upside from current levels. So, pretty split in terms of how analysts are viewing this company. And I should note, I had mentioned that they're higher so far this week. Yet another company that is entering a multi-year partnership with Saudi Arabia and their humane initiative to build out the AI infrastructure in Saudi Arabia. So could have given shares a boost earlier this week as well.
Yeah, I saw AI infrastructure partnership led by BlackRock, Microsoft, NVIDIA. I don't know if that's the same one or different.
This is the humane in Saudi Arabia, what we were talking about, NVIDIA and AMD and, a lot of these tech names being a part of.
Well, they're certainly circulating themselves in the AI world and continuing to grow with AI workloads and tackling those. Thank you so much, Caroline Woods. And so that's the setup for Cisco Systems. We want to give you a trade, an example trade, and that's why we bring in a pro. Scott Bauer is here, CEO of Prosper Trading Academy. How would you go about an example trade here for Cisco?
The space here has been obviously on a tear, and it is definitely getting overbought in general. I'm not just referring to Cisco, but if they come out and they even meet metrics and come out with any sort of decent guidance, Nicole, I think there could be a really big surprise to the upside. There is really massive resistance right around 65, which is the high that it was at last earnings here. And again, if there's any sort of decent guidance at all, now that some of the tariff woes maybe have, subsided a little bit here, I think we can blow right through that number there. So the way I'm playing this is I'm actually selling this week's 65 strike call which is right at that big resistance area. And I'm buying the May 30th going out a couple weeks, the 60 strike call. So basically, I have a $5 wide call spread that I'm buying, very bullish, but I'm doing it over time. And I'm taking advantage of the really, really expensive volatility selling this week's option. This thing works really nicely on a nice move to the upside. I pay about $2 for this. That is my maximum risk. So if Cisco disappoints, stock doesn't move, that is my risk.
Understood. Hey, Scott, before I let you go, I'd like to know what you think about the market lately.
I like the fact that it is cooling down a little bit. I know that, your conversation with Alex just recently, he was saying, maybe we're getting to that level that, it's getting a little top heavy, and it is. But this is good. If we can consolidate in a range here, and I'm not just saying that we have to be up 0.5%, up 1% daily. If we can consolidate within about a 2% range here of the S&Ps for maybe even just the rest of this week, I think that sets up a really nice narrative for the next push higher.
Okay. Scott Bauer, CEO, Prosper Trading Academy. Great to see you. Thank you so much.
You too, Nicole.